What's up, beautiful people? It's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video from Dog in Exile, and it's titled "Watch Sylvester Stallone Destroy Woke Hollywood in Epic Video." Okay, interesting. I'm excited to check this one out here. What dog I've got to see. Let's check it out.
California's natural beauty is destroyed by the liberals that run that state, and I resent that. Anyone who's destroying the beauty of California, and that's what they do. They break hearts, they break up friendships, and they break up families. In California, Sylvester Stallone is learning that. He's really bummed he has to leave, but he's like, I can't stay in this crummy state. And his wife definitely doesn't want to stay there. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where the happy patriots are as we check in on our pal, Sylvester Stallone.
All right, I brought you guys here on this momentous occasion because I think the house is now sold, so this is my true farewell.
To California?
To California.
Unbelievable.
He's already sold his house, meeting with his friends Henry Winkler from Lords of Flatbush, which I remember when that came out in the theaters in the 70s.
You got one of those rings, the thing you take out for 10 days and you bring back.
Henry Winkler is very important in my life. I never thought in a million years I would head out west, and he kind of like came to the rescue almost 50 years ago.
So these guys have known each other for 50 years. And now, thanks to California, he has to say goodbye to his friends. And I have a ton of friends. You know, I lived there for 45 years. I have a ton of friends in California.
First time we landed in LA, my car broke down almost in front of his apartment.
On Sunset Boulevard, you said, I need help. So we put all of your clothes into my car, and I drove you to the apartment you rented on El Camino?
Yeah. Shows how Stallone comes to California with nothing. That's how a lot of us started. I started with nothing and just made my way up from an art career. So as impossible as it is to make it as an actor, a writer, a director, or a cartoonist, that's not the hard part. The hard part is staying in California and being able to afford it when it's run by a bunch of Gavin Newsom lunatics.
And I said, here's the good news. We have sold the script, but they want to replace the writer.
It gets worse because there's an article coming up about the Razzie Awards about how mean Hollywood is to Stallone.
It's going to be hard to leave Henry and Al, and, Dolph Lundgren, all my friends.
Those are his friends from the...
Oh my goodness, it is difficult, especially leaving your friends and family behind, more so people that you've known for a really good time that turned friends, or friends who turned families, or strangers who turned family or who turned friends. It is hard because with the way things are going, with the woke revolutionary, people have to move to a better place to save their sanity or to save themselves, so they'll be thinking straight, because sometimes there are some things that are not sitting right. And which would you rather pick? Lots of people choose their sanity over whatever. And with the way things are going, especially with Hollywood or in California, you see lots of people are living or are running to some place that they find comfort, because to them it is no longer comforting anymore. But let me know if you once lived in California and you left. What was the reason you left, or what was the cause of you leaving? And what did you find about California? And what was it that made you, or what made you take a move or take a step to move to California? And if you grew up in California, how was life like when you were growing up in California compared to now? I'm sure tons of people have experiences or things or information they want to share regarding that, or regarding their time in California or their experiences in California. I really love to share that. But yeah, let's continue.
Those are his friends from the Expendables movie franchise, where the 4th movie came out this year. And while the audiences loved it, the critics bombed Stallone.
I don't know I'm ever coming back here again. This is kind of bittersweet sad.
Right, I understand.
Moving is pretty traumatic.
Right.
How do we make new friends? How do this?
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I do.
He's worried and heartbroken.
It's not easy for me to leave California. That's where I got my start. That's where I got my break. I have a lot of memories.
I just look at the sadness in his eyes. He really does seem upset and scared about moving to Florida. I felt the same way when I moved out here to Tennessee. I'm over it now. It's been 10 years, but you know, it's hard leaving California.
The thing is, I don't want to shake things up, but I know my wife wants big adventure.
Right.
I need to talk to my wife.
Good luck.
It sounds like he's getting cold feet about the move. If that shows you anything about how bad it is in California for business, it's like it should be way easier to stay there, for successful families to stick around there. Now, here's the article from, I think this was from Variety. Sly Stallone, Megan Fox, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, score the 2024 Razzie Awards. Now, the Razzie Awards are awards for stinker, terrible films, and they gave one to Stallone for The Expendables 4. Here's others coming in for the job poorly done. Accolades this year include Jon Voight. Now, he's a conservative. He's Angelina Jolie's father. We know why he got one, too. Megan Fox and Razzie legend Sylvester Stallone. This is how Hollywood treats one of their own. By the way, Jon Voight's also a Best Actor.
The winner is Jon Voight and coming home! Woo!
So let us stand with our president. Let us stand up for this truth, that President Trump is the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln.
Sylvester Stallone's Expendables proves more than expendable, says the headline about the Razzie Awards. This is the kind of thanks you get from California. California knows they're one of the most successful places in the world, so they treat everyone like disposable garbage, and Stallone is done with it. What do you guys think? What would it take for you? I especially want to hear from my Californians out there. I love hearing from my people out there. Are you staying? You know, Victor Davis Hanson is staying over there in Selma outside of Fresno. That's the San Joaquin Valley where I was raised. He's keeping the family farm, and I appreciate my conservative patriots that are staying there on the front lines and fighting the good fight. I'm Doug in exile.
Wow. I have family in California, and sometimes when I hear the things that happens or goes on in California, I be like, wow, it's quite interesting. But again, I still want to ask lots of people who live in California and the reason they are living. Do you, just like what Doug asked, said, are you staying? Because I know that California used to be the place for hopes and dreams. Not like it's no longer for hopes and dreams, but now with the way things are going, it's more like, is it safe anymore? Is it worth it to stay, to live in California anymore? That's a question lots of people are asking, and myself, I ask that same question because sometimes I call up my family or friends who live there, like, how is it like? And when sometimes some of them, they'll be like, well, they've got no choice. They just want to stay. They still hope and pray that it's going to get better, because some people don't want to move. They don't want to start afresh, because when they think of the time it's going to take them to start afresh, they'll be like, well, is it actually worth it? But again, if you did move from California to some place or some other place, how was it like? What was that breaking moment, or what was that moment that made you take that step to move, knowing that you're leaving friends and family behind, leaving a huge part of your life behind? What was the moment that made you take that big step, and how are you finding your new place compared to California? I know it might not be the same, or it would not be the same based on differences and lifestyle, but how are you finding it? I'm sure tons of people are still getting a hang of the new place they moved in, or they are in. But I would really love people to share their contribution or share their experiences in the comment down below. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.